actively charging a battery bank as they're pedaling. So the challenge is your battery gonna heat up and explode because going from France to China probably runs through some deserts at some point. And it gets probably either hot or cold
or humid,
or if there's no sun out that day,
yeah.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna pedal on just by leg power alone, and this thing doesn't look light. And I know that pedaling a heavy bike, like my bike is about 80 pounds with no accessories. Right now it's probably 100 pounds with all the accessories that I put on it. Pedaling that without power is horrible. It's horrible. It can be done, but I'm not going faster than 5 miles an hour. And that's at more energy than it would take probably just to run 5 miles an hour. But if I'm going downhill, sure, it's fine. So that's one example of an electric bicycle sport that I know of. Other than that, probably electric planes. A lot of the sports, quote unquote, are more competitions based around breakthroughs in efficiency in the terms of electric, because it is still not a.
Well, welcome back to another workout on Mondays. For some reason, Monday's my most laziest day, so I do the most simplest workouts. So this is going to be push-ups, squats, ab works, lower and upper, and probably upper back. So the resistance band just over there. Anyway, as always, hey anime, long time. Not too bad. Good, thank you. Yeah, just about to start my workout again. How have you been? You've been doing a few good drawings that I've noticed on Instagram. Hope you've been well. Oh yeah, and how's schooling? Have you been well, anime? Ask anything you like. And at the same time, yeah, I'm gonna mute it. Listen to Spotify. So, you know, I'll get DMCA'd.
New landscape, but there are innovations being made in the electric motor world, in the battery world, in power storage and power generation. Solar panels are getting more efficient every single year.
Apparently there's electric scooter races.
Scooter races, I believe it.
Let me see if because you brought up the electric unicycle in motorsports.
Yeah, electric unicycle is one of the most efficient electric-based human-powered transport systems.
Electric unicycle competition. LAEUC Games.
The EUC Games.
It looks like they're doing tricks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the electric unicycle, if you get good at it, it is very nimble. The guys at Corridor, they love what's called what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a world's greatest electric unicycle race.
Yeah, it gets really intense. The guys at Corridor, they like one wheel. One wheel's okay, I have not tried it yet. We're going to do a video where I try it. But I got the unicycle based on a single video that I watched. Was someone reviewing, not the version I got, was reviewing a version that was a higher end unicycle than the one I had. It went 45 miles an hour. It went 80 miles on a single charge. It has built-in suspension, all these crazy features. It is an insane machine because, especially when you think about it, you are literally just standing on a motor.
Yeah.
That's it. You're standing on a motor and you're going 45 miles an hour.
Which is crazy to me because, like, you know, I have my motorcycle license and I've ridden motorcycles and different bikes throughout my life. The thought of standing on two pegs, basically.
Two pegs, that's it.
And going 45 miles an hour is, like, I understand on a motorcycle it's dangerous, but that's insane.
It is insane. But they do it, and they wear full, like, padded gear.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them, they better. Like that full face helmet, armored jacket, like what a motorcyclist would wear.
Should wear, for sure.
Should wear, definitely. I also had a motorcycle. When I take my electric bike downhill and I hit like 38 max down the hill, I'm like, holy shit, it's so fast. Wait, if I was in my car, it wouldn't be anything. I don't know if it's just because you're used to it or because of the wind. I think, like, even when I had my motorcycle and I would get on the highway, I would be doing 65, but it didn't feel crazy to do that. For some reason, being on smaller and smaller vehicles just feels more insane the smaller you get.
Well, on a motorcycle, you tend to lean forward, and the way they're designed, most of them have a windscreen, so it deflects around the outside of you.
Yeah.
It's still kind of terrifying when you're in the open air, but yeah, when you're feeling like 35 mile per hour plus winds on you, it's terrifying. I know what that's like on skis.
Yo. Oh, you do?
Yeah, my brother and I were carving down the mountain. I think I hit like 50 something miles per hour at one point.
Oh my god.
And it's just like you can't like turn. You have to just lean and use the edge of your skis, and it's called carving because you're just digging your edge in, and it's allowing you to slowly turn.
Oh.
We talked about it in the Winter Olympic episode. They get up to insane miles per hour.
Oh. It's like I get hit in the nuts by the flag. Remember that clip?
Yep.
Scream heard across the mountain.
Well, think about if you run into another person who's downhill from you. Who's just going
Take
slow.
them out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, thank you. Electric skis are coming next.
Electric skis. They just like little snowmobiles on your feet.
But this is where like the difference comes in, because I don't think in Formula E, the last time I heard about it, the Formula E cars don't go as fast as the gas-powered variants do.
They do not, because they're heavier.
Yeah, and they don't have the range that the other ones do in terms of like how much fuel that they can carry. Or maybe they do. I can't remember what it is. Either way, there are still innovations to be made in the electric motorsport world, I imagine, just because there are still innovations to be made in the electric motor world. And all of it comes down to batteries, really. If you really think about it, it all comes down to batteries.
Yeah, Formula One is still faster, but they have apparently comparable acceleration, which is amazing because electric motors generally don't have the latency.
Good day, Aim. Good morning. Or good evening, wherever you might be. Hey, congrats, Anime. Oh, good job. What are you doing in college? 94. Oh, you're gonna kill it. Doing way better than I did when I was in high school and that.
That fuel engines do.
Yeah.
Because for fuel engines to put out the output, they have to combust, run into the gearbox and everything like that. The electric engine is almost straight into the wheels. And so they're averaging 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.8 seconds. The crazier part to me is the aerodynamics of Formula One cars, because they're designed to be light, right?
Yeah.
But you need to grip the surface.
Yeah.
So as you get up to the speeds, apparently a Formula One car can drive 180 meters upside down.
I would totally believe it because of the downforce. So the way this works, if people don't believe that, if people hear that and they're like, there's no way it could drive upside down, this is why. Bernoulli's principle. It works both ways. So a plane flies not because of Bernoulli's principle, not because of Mr. Bernoulli's permission, but it's because of the way that air moves across that shaped surface. So Formula One cars and cars like that, and that's why cars have spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, not always. Some people just put on a spoiler for show.
Right, for visual.
Yeah, but the reason is it's because it's an upside down plane wing, or at least it's the shape opposite, so that the pressure isn't lighter above and the lower pressure above pulls basically the plane up. It's upside down, so the higher pressure zone is above and the lower pressure zone, and it pushes the car down to grip the road.
Yeah, so apparently Formula One car is capable of developing 3.5.
That's okay, Anime. Priorities. You got your priorities straight. At least you're not like me that tends to procrastinate and whatnot and do other things at the same time, so you got good focus, which is good. College is definitely much more important than watching my stream, so I'm glad you're doing that. What did you get into for college?
Gs of lateral cornering force, 3.5 times its own weight, thanks to aerodynamic downforce. That means theoretically at high speeds they could drive upside down. I don't know if they have actually, but when they're at, I think 180 miles per hour is what it was, correcting my previous statement, they should be able to drive upside down. The question would be, how would they get upside down?
Yeah.
But
and how would they get right side up? Well,
Yeah.
I know how they're.
Humanities. Interesting. I'm actually not sure what that is. Humanities study. Oh, very nice. I love it. That's awesome. So you get to study the ins and outs of just pretty much what makes us us. That's interesting. And how long are those studies for?
There'd have to be a specially designed, like, I feel like it's possible. I want to see this. It's very dangerous, but I want to see it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you get anything going fast enough and with the right aerodynamics, you can get it going every which way.
And you're gonna have to get the smooth enough path to where they slowly get to the upside down and come slowly down around.
And this is different than, say, how a roller coaster spins a loop. This is a completely different concept.
Oh, yeah.
That's just momentum.
That has to do with the downward force that comes from the change of direction. They talk about in planes when Top Gun, the most recent Top Gun.
Yeah.
He was talking about how much G-force they have to experience in the pilot seat as they change directions.
Mm-hmm.
That's how roller coasters keep you when you go upside down.
Mm-hmm.
This is literally just from the air's downward force,
Yes.
not from momentum and the sheer amount of just going. This is the air actually pushing them into the surface.
Yeah, so you, on a roller coaster, as you hit the top of the loop, if that loop just kept going upside down, you would be pulled back towards the ground if those constraints weren't holding you there. I'm not sure, but if you're in a Formula One car and you're being pushed down, I do believe you in the car would still be pulled down, towards the ground.
They'd have to
You'd have to.
You've been having a lot of parties. Yeah, here and there on the weekends. It's an up and down slope, I'd say. I have my periods where I host things, and then others host things, and they sort of just overlap on each other. I always enjoy. I have a lot of great group of friends, all from different walks of life. So a lot of variety. You might have seen me playing Mahjong one weekend. Last weekend, being at the Booty Onesie Road Party. That was a housewarming for a friend. What else? Hot pot one night, where everyone came over to my place. We all had hot pot, because it's winter here in Australia at the moment. So, well, I always say the hot pot's always a good time, whether it be cold or... So I see a mosquito, I think, flying in my room, and I always try to kill the mosquitoes that are in my room. But yeah, those are the last few that I remember lately. But at the same time, I do enjoy those weekends where I don't do anything. Gotta recharge your batteries, take it easy and whatnot. How about yourself? Now that you're free, when do you start college, and what do you do on weekends? But yeah, we have winters, but just nothing as crazy as, the US and whatnot. We don't really get snow or anything around here. It does get cold, wet, and windy. That's the main thing. This winter was a bit funny. It's normally experienced all at once, but beginning of winter, super cold. Middle of winter, lots of rain. End of winter, we're halfway through the last month of winter, getting a bit of everything. But it isn't too bad. Compared to previous winters.
Wrap you in.
But the car itself would not be pulled down at all. It would be pushed more than it would be pulled down. So you would the car would keep going, and as opposed to a roller coaster, if it went upside down and kept going, the roller coaster would then have to hang.
Yes.
So it would still be pulled, but the wheels on the other side would hold it up. That's
correct. Whereas this would remain being pushed on the ceiling. I still want to see it.
Yeah,
Still
it would be
see it.
super cool. It would be super cool. It's like Men in Black, the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good movie. Anyway.
All right, Act 3.
Yes.
I forget what Act 3 was going to be.
Well, good thing I did my homework, because I have something to say about this. Is the future of electric motorsport. And it all comes down to batteries, like I said before. So in the earliest days, what we had were essentially lead-acid batteries.
Yeah.
It's like battery basics, cathode, anode, electrolyte. That is it. In the cathode and the anode, there's a separation of charge, and the electrolyte is the medium with which the charge flows through to the other side. It's the most simple way you can make a battery.
Dumb down cathode and anode for me.
Okay, positive, negative.
All right, cool. Anode's the negative?
Yeah, cathode is positive, anode is negative, I believe. Am I wrong? I want to make sure. I don't want to pull a Tyler here.
Hey.
Yeah, cathode is positive, anode is negative. So what that means is positive is just a way of saying it's at a okay, so this is...
College has already started. Haven't done like 2 days now. Wow, okay. So is college like, if you know our schooling system here, is it like our university? So after you finish high school, we jump into either TAFE or university. They're about the same level anyway. Uni being a bit higher, but whatever. You'll get the same opportunities when you go to either one of them anyway. Because it seems like, yeah, you just recently finished your previous studies and now you jump straight into it. And it's also because it's already past halfway through the year. So yeah, is college like something different for you guys compared to us? Sorry, yeah, you have to listen to my laboured breathing. Apologies. Hopefully you can hear me properly. I've been having some microphone issues lately.
Getting into nebulous concepts of magnetism and electromagnetism, but it's like positive flows to negative, basically. So if you think of it like an atom has one extra electron, it's positive, it has an excess of electrons. The negative side has a deficiency of electrons, so the positive side with its extra electron wants to flow towards the anode side to fill the space. But that's not actually how it works.
I know, because electrons are negative in the grand, because protons are positive, neutrons are neutral, electrons are negative. But in the way that batteries work, we called the ones with the extra electron positive.
Because it's an ion, like it's...
Yeah.
Am I saying that backwards? Because I was trying not to get it confused.
It's so confusing.
It's like the negative side, yes, has... No, the electron flows...
Going into where this is taking me way back to studying electricity and magnetism.
God, I can't believe I'm fucking up this one fundamental part of it. Where the electron flows through the wire from the negative to the positive, but through the electrolyte solution. No, I'm dumb. Right, it's the ions that flow through the electrolytic solution to the anode.
Yes.
The electrons are discharged in that. Fuck.
This is becoming science on
wow,
my favorite sports team.
I spent so much time looking up these batteries that I like. It's always these fundamental details that fuck with you.
I'm just pulling up a diagram of the battery.
Yeah. Let's see. Right. Okay. So what it is in this specific type of battery, which is a lead acid battery, which is what car batteries are. So you have lead dioxide.
It's like 2 years before university. It's like one particular subject. Oh, that's insane. I feel like I need to look up your curriculum, see what it's like. So I guess like fast track here is like you start in kindergarten and do 6 years of primary school, another 6 years up to year 12 of high school. And then after that, you decide whatever you want to do. Work. Well, you can technically work whenever you want to, but this is the usual path. After that, you either go to college, TAFE, or university. 5 subjects. Okay, so you're still not in university yet, but you're studying towards it. 5 subjects. Oh, that's okay. So you must be nearing the. So sort of like you're nearing the end of our high school, I guess. Yes, year 11 and 12 is high school for us. So I'm guessing because you said 5 subjects, it'd be the same for us in year 11 and 12, where we have about 6. Maybe some people might do 7. But by year 12, you decide to either keep all 6, you're going down to 5. But within those 5, you have to make sure that they all count towards university if that's what you want to do. You definitely can't go less than that, though. It's college for you guys. Oh, okay, I get it. So, yeah, you're in your last 2 years then. Nice. Oh, right. So you're in year 11 or 12 now? That's sort of what it works out here, because they... 6 or 7. Yeah, 11. How our year 11 works is, you only do about 3/4 of the year. That's approaching that now for our current year 11s. And the last quarter, you actually jump into year 12. And then you continue on year 12 into the next year till, again, 3/4 of the way. And you finish up earlier than every other year. Sorry if I made that sound confusing. But yeah. Well, congrats. Lovely to hear it's all working out. So you want to get into humanities. It's good that you have a clear pathway on what you want to do. It's good to have a direction.
Side on one side and then lead on the other side, and it's dihydrogen sulfoxide, something like that. It's been a while since organic chemistry. But during discharge, the hydrogen ion, which is a positively charged hydrogen, meaning it does not have an electron, it's basically just a proton and a neutron, produced at the negative plates, meaning the anode, moves into the electrolyte solution and is then consumed at the positive plate, while hydrogen, not dihydrogen sulfoxide, hydrogen sulfoxide is consumed at both plates, the electrolyte solution. So that is a electronless hydrogen moving from the negative side to the positive side. It's the same principle as saying an electron moving from the left to the right, positive, negative, but it's actually the ion moves negative to positive. The electron flows through the wire. The electrons don't go through the electrolytic solution.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah, basically hydrogen atoms bounce back and forth as they become ionized.
Yeah, and that's one type of battery. What typically nowadays you have lithium-ion batteries, whereas lithium-ion will move through the electrolyte solution and go to the other side.
And the reason it can deliver and last longer and has a longer output is because it's so reactive.
Yes, exactly. It's an extremely reactive material. If you've been in chemistry class in high school, you've probably seen them drop it in water. It will explode. Same with sodium. Sodium also will explode. A lot of these molecules and atoms, they do funky things in relation to other funky things. And a lot of it amounts...
3 languages. Well, language is useful. Oh, okay. No, we never got offered humanities in... I guess it depends what high school you go to as well. Sorry, a bit out of breath. Yeah, because your elective subjects in the later years is really much determined by which high school you go to here. Some high schools will offer certain things while some others will offer other things. I never got to have food tech, for example, in my high school. But I know my other friends in other schools, they had food tech, so they got to learn everything about the kitchen, I guess. Languages. Every high school does have language, but it tends to be a different language depending on the high school. My high school had Italian. I do not speak Italian, but that's all we had. Others might have German, Jap, French, whatever. Just depends on the high school. Commerce, same. But it tends to be divided up into economics or legal studies, like they're sort of in the same ballpark. My electives in high school was pretty much biology, 2nd grade math, 2nd English. We had to do religious studies because I went to a Catholic high school. And I did design and technology. Had to do a major work. Like I love the workshop. I love tools and I don't know, woodwork pretty much. There was design and tech as well, but that was more, if you're a bit more a designer. So that was like the two different pathways you choose between after you finish D&T. It says PCB and PCM. I'm not sure what that is, but for our sciences, you had to choose biology, physics, or chemistry. Tried chemistry. My worst subject ever. Tried it. That was the one that I dropped after year 11 because I just was not doing so well. Surprisingly enough, it bites me in the back. To finish my science degree, I had to be good at. I had to learn chemistry. And this was just year 1 chemistry for university. I left that all the way to the very last year. So I was already doing 4th year subjects, and the very last core subject I had to do it. But luckily by that time, I had friends who were demonstrating for the course by that time, and I forced them to tutor me to get me to pass chemistry, because God, that was the worst subject. But I pushed through and I got there. Physics, chemistry, and biology is PCB. I got you. I got you. Oh, nice. So yeah. I think that was it. Different grades of math, different grades of English. Maths, physics, and chemistry. I'm assuming you mean physics and not psychic. But psychic would be a pretty cool subject if they had that in high school.
To exploding.
Yeah, it's all chemical reaction.
Yeah, this is why lithium is a dangerous battery.
Yeah.
It actually is. So there's reasons that there are restrictions on how to ship batteries, especially lithium polymer batteries, which are particularly explosive and unstable. The lithium ion batteries that are typically in your phones, there's a few different varieties, but they're generally well tested, well preserved, and they're able to do things. Yeah, Tyler, you have lithium batteries, non-rechargeable lithium batteries
Correct.
in your hand right now, which I think non-rechargeable lithium batteries are a waste. Like, why rechargeable batteries? That should be the whole point of it. But alkaline batteries are like blah 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 blah. Blah. I could get into a whole topic.
Everybody likes the disposable. They just want to use it when it's done, throw it away. It's the wasteful nature of humans.
It is human nature. I think you trace that back to all the way to Roman days. Even then, even with ceramic cups, there were disposable cups back then where they would take it and just chuck it away.
Yeah, throw it against the wall.
Excess, whatever. In terms of lithium batteries, there's a few different varieties, but they're all based on the same principle. One of them is lithium iron phosphate, which is a safer version of the battery, but it is less energy dense than the lithium batteries that are in your phone.
I got you, anime. Just teasing, that's all. But hey, I would have been pleasantly surprised if it was psychic. Wouldn't say I'm a grammar Nazi, but it's more like I like to teach in a way, just in case you wanted to tell it to someone else. But also at the same time, that's the beauty of language. Language isn't about trying to be as correct as you can. It's about how language is about how easy it is to interpret that language, even if you get it wrong. That's what the success of a language is. To be able to understand something without it being completely correct. As long as you can convey the message, that's all that mattered, and that's what you did, which is good.
Computer. Therefore, it's not preferred because the safeties that we do have in these computers is pretty good because they're made in a way that is supposed to be reliable. When it doesn't happen right, you get the Galaxy Note 8, which was a particularly explosive device. The reason was because the battery was too big for its enclosure. When it heated up, it would expand because when anything heats up, or most anything heats up, it usually expands. And it expanded, the battery touched the metal housing, shorted out the battery, exploded. There's a lot of energy stored in batteries, and they can release very quickly if it's uncontrolled. The future, however, is solid-state batteries.
Like SSDs.
Not quite. Solid state basically just means that there's no moving parts. So a solid state hard drive, it is the same in that there are no moving parts in the,
Correct. Like
the drive itself.
It's compared to the hard drive, which has a spinning disk that gets written on.
Yeah, so I don't like hard drive disks, but my god, they're more data dense and cheaper to make than an SSD. I'm hoping that someday these will come down. But solid state batteries. This whole time I've talked about batteries, I've talked about this electrolytic solution, the electrolyte in between the cathode and the anode. The idea being that you must have this liquid because it allows the free flow of ions through it to get from the anode to the cathode. But solid state batteries are exactly as they sound because they have a solid electrolyte.
Yeah, it's no longer using a liquid, it's using something that's like glass or ceramic.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And
so I guess to pull it back a little bit, it's okay. So you started year 11. Nice. 5 subjects, that's about as many as I did as well. That's as much as I could handle. Again, I'll admit, not the greatest student growing up, but I got there in the end. As long as you figure out in the end, of course. But you seem to be like you're going on the right track, so better success to you. Good advice when it comes to, I guess, I don't think they have lesson recordings in high school. Not my one, but especially when you get to uni now that everything's online, everything's recorded. Depending on how you like to study, this is how I did. When I listen to recordings, I always have it on about 1.5 to 2 times speed, as if like on YouTube, you can make videos go a bit faster, save you a bit of time. You know, time's value, I guess. Yeah, that's it. Listen, write notes, all up to you, all about how you like to manage your time. But that's essentially how I got through my lectures, or recordings that is. I listened to it at 1.5, once I got used to that, you go to 2 times speed. So I'll tell you right now, personally for me, the best lullaby you can listen to is a lecture recording, because it will put you to sleep. Like, I don't know. I believe it's just something you just got to work on. Just keep at it. I don't think I had the best memory either, but that's probably constitutes to me not studying properly. I definitely wasn't those types where I listened to the lecture, wrote notes down, reread, maybe did more notes. But I guess that's what it is. That's what memory is, I guess, in the end. Like, depend on you again, depends on the person. But it's all about repetition. That's it. You keep doing it. But even then, I always had the thing whenever I go into an exam, it seems like I'll probably know 90% of the material, and for some reason that exam will test me on the 10% that I don't know. But such is life, I guess.
The challenge here is how do you get a material that will not automatically short out the battery in terms of like, because electrons want to flow. The electrolyte acts as a resistor for the electrons to flow, so they're forced to flow through the wires. But if you have a solid battery, a lot of solids are conductive, and conductive solids means that the electrons would flow through it right to the anode, and then boom, or the cathode, and then boom, it releases all the energy at once.
Well, naturally, I don't know if you've ever watched the videos of electric wood burning. Almost everything at a certain voltage and a certain amount is conductive to a point.
Yeah.
It's just whether there's a lesser resistant pathway for them to go through that it would choose otherwise.
Yeah, it's the fundamental principle of everything because everything is made up of electrons and protons and neutrons. So anything that has electrons, technically speaking, could have electrons move through it. It's just like some things are more resistant than others. Yeah. If you ever rub your socks on the carpet and then you touch a doorknob, it's like that is the electrons moving not through your body but around the surface of your body to the doorknob, and then you build up a positive charge or a negative charge on your feet, your little tootsies, and then because of that imbalance, electrons are slightly pulled one way or the other, and then zap, they're pulled from the door to your finger.
That's why when you have a charge, you more often than not have hairs sticking up on ends, because the current that you're holding as a figure of speech is causing your hairs to stick on end.
All of electromagnetism is a fascinating concept, like not sport related.
Oh no,
but the future of motorsports is in solids.
Heavy labored breathing. Cheers, anime. Don't let what I look like fool you right now. It's called the pump. You do any strenuous exercise, you're gonna look good during and straight afterwards. Wait till you see me before exercise, then you'll see my true form. But no, thank you. Thanks for the compliment regardless. Sort of one reason for my channel as well is because with the 15 plus years of working out, I've never done progress photos. I just thought whatever. try to not concentrate on it. But, you know, that's part of the reason why I'm doing the channel as well. That's why you'll see like some of my videos is just progress purposes, that's it. And those videos will be before I start the workout, so that's a true picture of what I look like. But thank you regardless. It's always nice to have the compliments. It's if anyone works out and they tell you that they're not doing it for vanity reasons, there's a little vanity behind it. You know, you like to work out, of course, the other results will come, but it's always good to get the validation. So thank you very much.
Batteries, or at least another evolution of batteries that I am not aware of. But the benefit of solid-state batteries is you can make it denser. When you have a solid electrolyte, especially one that is able to insulate better than, say, the current liquid electrolytes, you can compress it, you can smush it down, you can make the cathode and anode closer together. The difficulty is finding a material that is resistive enough so the electrons don't flow through it, but still allows for ions to travel through it. That's the difficulty of it. But when they find it, and they are, literally in this year alone, there have been numerous breakthroughs and claims made about solid-state batteries. In the past, it's always been like, they're coming. Literally this year, Toyota said that they have a solid-state battery that they're going to start putting in cars either this year or 2024.
Oh, wow.
And they're starting with hybrids. The reason being, it's a very expensive technology, so the best use for it is to get a smaller battery that attached to current gas-powered technology, and it will make it more efficient by having smaller batteries, lighter batteries, or at the very least, more energy-dense batteries, which is the key. You will have more efficient motion.
Yeah, and the craziest part about this, and this is just me doing minor research right now, is that it's going to be less flammable, which means it's less likely to explode, charges faster.
Besides what exercise brings on the outside, my personal enjoyment out of doing all this is that my body allows me to do what I want. So in saying that, anyway, you didn't have to comment on the YouTube as well, but thank you. Like what I like is I've given my body the best chance that it can have to live life. So, example, the reason why I first started working out was because I loved eating. Oh, sorry. You have to listen to me breathe and drink water. ASMR-ish a bit. But anyway. Yeah. Loved eating. And I figured, like, my life now is all about balance, which is what I've discovered over time. But, you know, for me to keep eating the way I eat, I've got to balance it out with training. Because like, one of my biggest weakness, I guess, or drawbacks is the hard part that I find about training is actually eating. And a lot of people wish they had that problem where I can't eat enough. My output is higher than my input. So that was the first problem of my training, where I used to train 6 days a week, but I wasn't eating enough. So my body wasn't getting that nutrients it needed to rebuild the muscles that I was breaking down. So I sort of had to work out less. That's why I only train 3 days a week now, and I found that balance to be a lot better. My diet can now keep up with my training. But that's the good thing, you know? How many people would love the fact that their problem is they can't eat enough? I don't tell too many people my goals because they wish they had that problem. But that's just what it is. Everyone has their own problems, their own personal problems. Like most people are like, yeah, they can't control their eating. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I can't eat enough. My appetite fills too easily. When I'm eating and when I feel full, that's when I know I need to keep eating. Yeah, that'll do it to you. That'll do it to you. Mental health is just as important. The mind controls the body. Your mind's the software to your hardware. So, you know, if that breaks down, the body breaks down. I'm sorry to hear that as well. I hope you're dealing with well. I hope you have someone to talk to about it. You know, these aren't things that we should keep to ourselves. It's as easy as it is, where you try to be independent and deal with it all yourself. But mental stress is just as important as physical stress. Like I said, it's all about balance. One mental, I guess, I had to see a psych once because an unfortunate accident happened to one of my friends many years ago. And as much as I believed that I knew how to deal with it, I saw a psych anyway, just to make sure that to see a professional, unbiased opinion. I just asked them, what should I do to make sure that I'm just doing the right thing? They said it's okay to get away from life, it's okay to cry and whatnot, as long as it just doesn't become a habit. And one exercise they gave me was I wrote down a diary. And it's nice, like as simple as it is. Like yeah, you've mentally thought about it, but just to write it onto a page, physically putting your thoughts down, you've sort of in a way I wouldn't say confront, it's a very hard word, but you've taken note of it. You've addressed it in a way. So just writing things down each day of just how you felt or whatever your thoughts are is a good way to process your information in your mind. I found that's what helped me.
Yes.
It's going to be lighter.
Yes.
And have higher power output.
Yes, exactly. All of these benefits from solid state are there because when you get the perfect electrolyte, solid electrolyte, you can charge much faster because you can. The problem with charging an electric battery right now is that you have to control the charge because of what's called dendrites. So dendrites are little bits of the metal that form through the electrolyte that can cause a short. So as the lithium ion moves back and forth in the battery itself, it doesn't perfectly get back to its
side. You can't reform it exactly the way that it does. If you've ever dealt with crystals tend to form from just natural occurrence of how they come back together.
Yeah.
When you have something that already is formed and you're trying to put crystals back, it's not going to take the same shape that it had originally. Yeah. It's going to start creating new forms on the surface of that form that's already there.
Exactly. And think of it like, for those listening at home, the lithium ion will start depositing on one side irregularly like a mountain range until one of them starts to grow taller than the other. Then it's like a lightning rod. It's sticking up in the air and it draws shear by either surface area or its proximity to it. It'll draw more and more ions, and this is when a battery starts to die. This lightning rod pokes further and further through the electrolyte and eventually will touch the other side and then boom. Well, it may not explode, it may just not work anymore.
Yeah, you can't charge it again. It's out of power, it just won't work.
Yeah, and this is why things lose charge over a long period of time because of these irregularities. However, with a solid state battery, you can theoretically have longer life cycles if you have a perfect electrolyte. You have longer life cycles, charging the whole battery in 15 minutes, the whole battery in 15 minutes. You can get to 80% in probably 10 with the perfect electrolyte.
Yeah.
But for now, just getting the first batteries in will probably change the world of motorsports sooner because cost is less of a prohibition in these high-performance applications like sports.
Yeah, because Formula One is an immensely expensive sport to get into.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a multi-million-dollar investment just to have a car.
Yeah.
Let alone getting the driver, the team, everything involved. It is very expensive.
It is incredibly expensive, and that's why in traditional consumer vehicles you probably won't see solid-state batteries for another 10 years. I'm so sorry for everyone. Just like 5G won't actually be here for another 8 years, solid-state batteries, even if they make developments right,
yeah, I get you. It happens. That's life for you. We all have our struggles, and all our struggles are just as important as anyone else's. So there will be times like that. We do our best, try to get through it and try to figure it out ourselves, but, everyone needs a helping hand once in a while. That's good that you can address it. At least it's good that you're able to take note of what it is. So at least you know where you need to put your focus. I think for me, another thing was just take it a day at a time, Try to not deal with it all at once. It's a lot for one person to handle. So make sure you have a good support group around you. Always nice to have someone to talk to. Like I said, just another way to express yourself. Another way to put your thoughts out there. Relationships are hard. Academics is hard. I know that much. Academics was not my strong suit growing up. Trust me on that. But I think what helped me most was family. My family was there for me the whole entire time through my thickest and thins, and bless them. I can't imagine how many times I might have given up on myself if it wasn't for my family being there. I definitely wouldn't be where I am right now if it wasn't for them staying by myself. So I can't take all the credit. Definitely, I definitely would not be where I am for the people that without the people around me. Very grateful for that. So I hope you have something like that as well. To have the right amount of right people around you, they put you in the right direction. It's tough. It's not easy. You have stuff like that around you, and if that's what you're hearing, that's your norm in your life. So it does shape you in a sort of way, but try to find it within yourself to love yourself. Here's your own body. I guess that's one reason why I train and whatnot, so I can be proud of the body that I'm happy with the body that I'm in. If you ever get into it, like it's a very rewarding process, not just for the physical but for the mental as well. It helps build discipline. I'll say that much. Because if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it. Definitely not easy, but that's what makes it rewarding. Relationship-wise, yeah, just I can't question who they are because I don't know who these people are, but I trust in your judgment to hopefully find the right people around you. The main thing is just make sure to talk, make sure it's clear. Don't just keep it all to yourself. I definitely had friends in my life where they like to speak their mind, and that's fine for them as long as I let them know what I'm thinking as well. And a lot of the times they'll respect that. They'll respect my thoughts. And for the hard part is just bringing up the courage to be able to talk to them. But that's what good friends are. You can talk to them about anything, no matter what it is. And then if they're good friends, they'll be able to accept your thoughts and for what you are. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, you got me here to talk to if you'd like, anytime. I'm sad for the fact. Look, again, I don't want to judge them because I don't know them personally, but I don't think just because of who they are and what they look like and whatnot, they shouldn't be making you feel insecure for who you are. They should be accepting. Uh, Beauty is a different standard within everyone's eyes. The standards of beauty has changed over the years. What one trend might look like one day will be a different trend in many years. Like, even right now, like the culture's really changed about like the beauty standard these days. Like, that's getting a bit political now. But anyway, look, let them be them. Let you be you. Okay. Like, I just wish, like, I don't know them. They should be more supportive of how you are, but it depends on your lifestyle as well. I don't know your lifestyle either. Like, sometimes, yeah, I know, he's finally made an appearance. Cheers, anime. It's like again, like judging, and I guess objective views sometimes might be giving them the benefit of the doubt. They might see a bad habit in a way, and hoping to, I guess, I like to think that they're keeping your best interests in mind, so hopefully getting you to be healthier. I'm not sure. This is just from an outside perspective. And the boss of the house is here, the one that runs this place. Doesn't want to look at the camera. But use it as fuel, anime. Use it as fuel. That's how they are going to be around you. Don't let it bring you down. Let it give you a reason to do something better for yourself. Not saying what you're doing isn't good or bad, but again, I don't know your lifestyle. But use it as like F you energy sort of thing. I'll show you sort of thing. Use it in a way as to give you motivation to do something, whatever you feel that's value in your life. I think that's why I did what I did. Got to where I've got to, because I wanted to make sure that I could look back on my own life and be proud of what I've achieved and what I've done. Still trying to get there. Trust me, I'm not there yet. There's still a lot. Like, doesn't matter where you are in life. I've learned that it comes with its own stresses and whatnot. Like, after you deal with one problem, another problem's gonna come. That's what life is. It doesn't get easier, but you choose how you want to wade yourself through it.
Now, they won't be in your hand for another 10 years, but the future is promising.
Yeah, and with this technology, if and when it comes about, it probably will have more output than your gas motors.
It probably will. Because right now, an electric motor can beat a gas motor flat out with the right amount of current. But making that current portable is the challenge. Yeah, it all comes down to batteries.
The weight to output ratios.
Yeah, something about that. I forget what the terminology is. Yeah. And that is the future of motorsports.
Electric.
And a side note, I do think electric bicycles are going to be the future of transportation.
Yeah, you've told me this like 6 times.
Have I talked about it on the podcast?
No, you have not.
But this is my chance to do so.
It is.
This is why. I'll make a short version. I know we're running out of time here, but the short version is the bicycle is an incredibly efficient machine. It's great at allowing people to move from A to B. The problem is it runs on fat. It runs on your legs. It runs on your human power. By giving you an electric motor to boost your power, even just a little bit, it allows you to propel yourself anywhere you need to go on your own 2 legs, so long as your battery has charge. Now, here's the thing. If you're
Oh, sorry. Anime. Oh, come on. Self-harm. I definitely can't promote that. Speaking of allergies, I have to take my antihistamine now. If you guys haven't read my bio, I am mildly allergic to cats and dogs. Less that it's a mild allergy, so I get a good 5 minutes before the reactions start happening. But since I'm sweating and whatnot, and my pores are open, I assume those reactions will come a lot faster, so I better take this now. Anime, very good. Priorities to our kitty overlords, because they are our one and only. Sorry, Kane. I am allergic to cats. I found that out when I was 12. Even though from 6, I had a cat all the way up to that point. So when I did that scratch test for them to figure out what allergies you had, they're like, "Oh, you're allergic to cats and dogs." I'm like, "Are you sure?" But allergies comes in various intensities or degrees. So I wish I was that story where you hear about people that are allergic to cats and they've had a cat long enough that they've built up the immunity to it. Unfortunately, I'm not that person. But people have told me that, well, maybe I've been able to build up a tolerance up to this point. Maybe my allergies could be so much worse than what it is now. So I was like, okay, fair enough. That's a bit of a silver lining to it, I guess. But they've got immune injections and whatnot that they can do now, which I might do in the future, because like my dream is to eventually one day to like allow my cat to go onto the couch, allow my cat to go onto the bed. Anything that I'm on or fabrics and whatnot, I can't let Cheddar go on there because I do get reactions. I'm very tolerant when it comes to itching. My missus doesn't understand that. Like my missus allows our cat to go walk all over her pretty much. But yeah, it's good for her. She can enjoy it. But for me, I've just learned to tolerate it. So lucky for her. But yeah, one day that's my dream. My dream is to be able to just hold that cat into my arms and not worry about anything. Like life is cruel, isn't it? I love cats so much, but I have an allergy to them. Such is life, as always.
You're riding a bike, you're never going more than like maybe 10, 15 miles. No matter what. I went...
Oh, Anime, anytime, man. Anytime. Like, thanks for sharing. Like, thanks for sharing in such a public forum as well. Like, it takes a bit of courage to be able to put that out there for anyone to read and whatnot. So thank you for letting me listen. It's a privilege. It's always a privilege to listen to someone else's perspective, That's the beauty about the world. Everyone, even though we're all the same, at the same time, we all experience things differently. Nah, you are not interrupting at all. Aim, please. This is a public forum. The fact that I am live streaming, I am subject to whatever this platform is. So you are not interrupting at all. If anything, thank you for joining and watching. Thank you for commenting while Cheddar came in here, because I'm sure that makes him feel more important than how he already does.
To Corridor, I went to West Hollywood, and I went back home. And I only had to charge once there, and technically I ran out of battery before I got home.
I forgot the charge.
But I went about 46 miles that day, and I went just as fast as my car would have.
Yeah,
just as fast.
Especially because of the traffic in LA.
Mm-hmm. And if there were specific bike lanes, the density per capita of like travel through a city is so terrible. When you look at cars versus literally any other mode of transportation, it's awful. It's awful. And in America, it just gets bigger and bigger. And these huge trucks for one person that takes up the entire space that a small bus could. But a bicycle, it's a single occupant vehicle. You, me, Amy, Ethan, and Mika all had a great experience with them, just this 4th of July.
Well, I mean,
you did. Yours ran out of battery.
But it was fine. I still made it.
You still made it, because at the end of the day, it was still a bicycle, and you could still pedal it. But the thing was, we were going to see the fireworks at the Rose Bowl. We had to travel to get there, but we knew that we might be able to get this vantage.
Also, yeah, I hope you got to do your leg raises, the little bit of homework that I've given you. As a job, as a chiropractor, it's my job to make patients feel bad for not doing their homework, or else I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't. As much as guilt is a terrible weapon to use, that's just what I have to do. But, I hope for the better of yourself, that's why.
Point if we rode our bikes somewhere.
Yeah, because the other problem you have with cars is you have to worry.
So I'm not sure if I said that to Anime or AIM. I meant to say that to AIM. AIM got some exercise advice the last time he was on stream with me. And I'm hoping that he's done that exercise. Well, he or she, I'm not sure. But I give a lot of homework to my patients because that's what I got to do. Rehab, very important. But, it's something that we've learned to accept, that a lot of our patients are either lying to us or that they don't do it. But I wouldn't be doing my job if I don't remind people to do it. So hopefully one day, if it just pushes them to do it once, then I've done my job. Well, my job is more like, as long as I give the patient the very best of my knowledge at that point, then I've done I've done the best that I can do.
About space for parking.
Exactly.
And being out of the way of other people and paying for parking, which is an exorbitant thing in LA.
We rode up, and there was a guardrail where we could kind of see the Rose Bowl, and we slid our bikes all the way up to the guardrail, took up no more space than a foot wide.
Yeah.
Did not obstruct any flow of cars. And even a motorcycle cop came up here, and I asked, hey, is it cool if we slide our bikes over here? And he was like, yeah, it's fine. We were completely out of the way. 5 of us had gone up there. If we had even carpooled in a single car, It would have been so much more of a hassle. It allowed more freedom, it allowed more mobility, and honestly, an electric bike versus a regular bike, I feel safer because I'm able to go faster. And not fast enough that I'm breakneck speeds, maybe like 20, 25 is usually what I'm doing.
But fast enough to where you're not impeding traffic.
Exactly. Other cars notice me more. Well, I have bright colored helmet and whatnot, but they notice me. I'm not holding them up. No one's getting road rage. I have yet to have someone get angry at me on my bike, and I've ridden it 400 miles, and I got it a month ago.
Yeah.
I love that bike. This one was more expensive than a normal bike or even a regular electric bike, but compared to a car, this basically replaced my car. I've been coming to the podcast sessions every week on my electric bike.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait to get mine.
Where's our Super 73 sponsorship? Super 73, they've been making me a custom bike for weeks now. I still don't have anything. Where's your bike? Super 73? Hello? Please? Any other electric bike manufacturer out there? Apparently, I'm on the market. All right, but anyway, I'll close that up.
No, but it's really fascinating to me because one of the things about this podcast, we're going to talk about sports, but we need to talk about other things that impact sports and change sports, because that's also within that realm. So getting into the science and talking about the advancement of technology with electricity and batteries and electric...
Oh, thanks, Anime. You're too kind. Bless. Maybe one day I might. So something that I've done, I'm not sure if you can see. Show you a bit of skin, I guess. At the back here, a bit of a Cheshire cat tattoo, where essentially my missus designed that for me. And I've noticed that a lot of my friends, they're all designers, artists, graphic designers. So what I've done now is anytime that I have an inspiration for a new tattoo that I want to have, I'll give one of them an inspiration of what I want, and I'll let them design something for me. Just give it a little bit more meaning. So if you don't mind, maybe one day, if I think of something, I'll give it to you, and then let me see what you can do. Then maybe I might get a tattoo. Oh God, imagine if that's a thing. You know how Twitch people, when they like try to like get a sub or something and they write their names on their body or something like that? I'm never gonna do that. But imagine how hardcore would that be if I'm like, yeah, give me a sub and I'll let you design a tattoo on me. No, that's a bit too much, but you know. Not sure if you meant by my missus' design, but yes. Oh, she designed my logo as well, by the way, that hybrid therapy logo. She's really good at what she does. Just needs a little bit more confidence in herself, but yeah. Thank you. Been together for about 11 years now. I'm very lucky. We definitely, how do I say? We feel in each other's. Well, no, that's going to sound very wrong. We complete each other. Let's just say that. The gaps that we have in our lives, we complete each other. We're similar in ways that we don't like conflict, but at the same time, we are very stubborn. We are very opinionated, but we make sure to listen to each other's minds. You know, a lot of my shortcomings, she makes up for that, and same as vice versa. Yeah, she designed my cat tattoo, and it makes me love it even more. It's the Cheshire cat. It's got a yin-yang symbol in its eye, meaning balance for me. And she made it, so it makes that much even more lovable. Oh, and of course, appreciate the comment. Thank you. You're good. You do you.
Motors truly impacts motorsports and is going to impact so much more beyond that. So thank you for bringing your highly researched and done homework to the table, Mark.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys have a newfound understanding of motorsports and how electricity is going to change the game with that.
I've been lucky that the partners that I've had, I've only had two partners, like major partners in my life. My first one, my ex, 4 years. Welcome back, Cheddar. My current one, my wife, 11 years. So they've been very long-lasting relationships. So I've never had to wonder too much about partners. But my advice there would be make sure to work on yourself first. Make sure to learn how to not be alone, but know how to live with yourself first. Because once you know how to live with yourself, someone else will be able to live with you, I guess. Is that cliche? I don't know. But I guess main thing is just to make sure to work on yourself first. Don't rely too much on happiness when it comes to a partner. You shouldn't have to rely on a partner to be happy. At the same time, not gonna lie, it is nice, but don't let it be your main focus in your life. Make sure you can live with yourself first.
Batteries and electric motors.
Yep.
Any closing statements other than, hey, go buy the merch, the YouTube channel is up, and there's a Discord?
YouTube channel is up, currently working on the Discord. Where's Tyler's electric bike? Yada yada yada.
Hey, we need your guys' help to help get this podcast into more people's ear holes. So if you could share it with a friend, it would be highly appreciated. We really want to push to being that #1 sports podcast in the world. And be able to go to cool events and be invited to stuff. I saw on the subreddit somebody already wants to set us New York Mets hats.
That's very nice.
We definitely want to get there and be able to do cool stuff and have really cool, awesome guests that we're starting to get lined up in and recording with.
One of the best ways to help out is to subscribe to the YouTube channel and then watch the videos in general because they are highlights and they're fun and the thumbnails are great. But also just help promote those, and the algorithm on YouTube will help automatically push things out to things. On most podcasting platforms, the discoverability isn't that great, but YouTube's a great resource. Let's try to blow that up.
Yeah, like, comment, share.
Like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Slap that bell. Slam the bell. All right, so thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's always a nice goal to look into. Relationship advice. At the weekend party that I was at, I met up with an old friend that I hadn't met for many years ago. The first time I met him, I was a bit older than him, so he asked me, give me some life advice, give me the deepest thing that you've learned, Daniel. I'm like, oh, okay. Very upfront. So what I said to him at the time, very basic stuff. I was just like, look, as long as, the first advice I gave him was, as long as you learn from all your mistakes, then they're never a mistake, they're a lesson. So don't let your mistakes define you, let them be as a guiding tool for where you want to get to. I met up with him again 3 years later, I think. And the same thing, all having a wild time, met up, had a good catch up, and he asked me again, he's like, Daniel, all right, give me another gold nugget. Give me, what advice would you give me this time? And I was like, this was on the way to the bathroom, so I was like, let me think, let me go bathroom first and I'll come back to you. But anyway, too much information, but anyway. Got back to him, and this time when I saw him, he has a new girlfriend, which was lovely, which was a nice segue into what I was going to give, the advice I was giving. I told him, no disrespect to his partner, all I said was, if she can handle all your shit and she can live with it, keep her, okay? Because it is hard to find someone who accepts you for all the crap that you are, because no one's perfect, no one is. Everyone will have shortcomings, and if they can love you for all your shortcomings that you have, then they're a keeper, that's it. And vice versa, of course, because again, no one's perfect, but if they're able to look past all the crap that you do to still be with you, then keep them. And he had a pretty big smile when I said that to him, because I think that's what he's going through, so it was good to see.
It has been insane, and now we're trying to reach 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Please follow, hit the bell, hit the like button, comment, and most of all, enjoy the video.
Hello and good morning.
It's like the final day of like, I guess like it's like the beginning of the end. It's like the last day, and then hop here for 5 days, and it's like the last like 6 days. Today's kind of like the last day of like.
Yeah, today is the last day. I will pick up. I've talked to Haftur. I will pick him up at the airport. In the R8.
Not yet. Me too, really. So can we use some content? Can we all, you can eat today and versus a sushi and see who eats more?
The last lady is there.
Like me, Seer, take you down.
Honestly, I feel like Thor could like fix you guys.
Make you. Oh. It's like.
How the had prior to the competition, but he took the 501 kilo that he weighed 150 pounds.
It's crazy how like streamers eat like shit when like they're all rich and they literally can just go to Whole Foods and they just get bulk of.
I mean, like you could throw all of your money back into like gig economies and still get.
But the thing is, it also tastes really good. Not eat healthy when they are rich and they.
The reason is easier access to shitty food. That's the only reason. That's the absolute only reason.
Alright, Chad, today is shoulders and triceps. It's like I said, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like the beginning and the end, because Hopper will be here Saturday, tomorrow we're off, and then we start like the big shebang.
Yep, the big shebang.
Tanning, sushi.
It is great to be today, Chad. Absolutely marvelous.
I need to see if we could just wear them out a little bit like we did on legs and shoulders for on the side lateral raises first. And then we do some press.
Eating. He said, if it's everyone, you'll crush me. So maybe it's just 3 of us.
We can go in teams. I can team up with Haftur, and then we can go in teams time and fall eater.
I don't even want to. I get full very fast. I get hungry fast.
I make your shoulders feel like look at my arms are floating on the sides like 2 flopping beanbags, bro. Disgusting. This shit is so heavy.
Go on my stomach. Look at this shit. It's going away. Still got a bulge right here, man.
You have a.
Look at me trying to make him work for me. Do my trust my best not to force him to. But let's admit it, Chad is probably half the reason why I have views, so I will use him as well, just to get him to pay some rent eventually one day. And he's down, whatever. Yeah, but that's it for me for today. I don't know if I could inspire you to do something, work on yourself. That's all. I know it's hard when you have life itself and the people around you are the way that they are, but in the end, you have yourself to live with. So, you know, do the best you can. I hope to just inspire people just to work on themselves, to show you that you don't need much to work on yourself. You don't need to go to a gym. You don't need much equipment either. Bodyweight workouts is where I started, and from that fitness journey I slowly developed other things, but for now bodyweight fitness is the easiest thing anyone can do. But it doesn't have to be a big workout either. Just start small. All is just something, whatever your body's capable of. Start small and build up from there. Progressive overload. Lots of information online as well. Ask me anything, anytime. Always happy to help. Watch my previous videos. Plenty of workouts on there. Maybe not the best form, but you know. But yeah, that's it for me today. I'm gonna go take a shower. I need to eat. I have not had breakfast yet. I like to work out first. Get the hardest part of the day out of the way, then I don't have to worry about later. I used to work out at night. My regime used to be work out before I sleep, because you technically always have time before you sleep if you think about it. But Now these days I do it before I do anything. So there are a lot of people that like to work out in the mornings, early days. I don't know how they do it, but it's brilliant because it's like morning coffee to them. Once you do it, the hard part is just starting. But once you get into it, it's your body will follow. The hard part is starting, and you'll have days where you just don't feel like it. I have them as well. But on those days, I do at least a good 15 minutes. If my body still doesn't feel like doing it, then I'll stop. It's your body trying to tell you, no, not today. As long as that doesn't become a habit, that's where the mental training comes in a bit. So try to fight those urges. But usually when you get into the first 15 minutes, your body will follow. Your body will want to finish off the rest. And as you get stronger and stronger, you'll push yourself. Like anyone, for the matter. Look, try to. At the same time, I don't like making people do things, but if it's going to improve on their life, I guess I shouldn't feel bad about it. I guess that's why I started this. I already work out anyway, so to start a stream is nothing too hard, but if it inspires other people to work out as well, then I've done what I can. So I reach people in this platform and at my work as well. So, and yeah, anyway, I'm blabbering on now, so will you take the bait? Will you take the bait? No, he's having none of it. Anyway, alright, till next time. Cheers for joining in, Anime, AIM, anyone else. Take care of yourselves, and probably see you guys on Wednesday. Alright, have a good day.